Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. We are here with a birthday art haul. It was whose birthday?
Elizabeth.
It was my birthday, and I have a few new art supplies, but we're gonna try out two of them together, right?
Yeah.
So they are the Meeden art palettes. They come in 3 different tin colors, and they're all different things. And the ones that we have are, we have the pastel colors, which I think is a bit of a misnomer, but we'll see as we try them. There are some very brighter colors that I wouldn't consider pastel colors, but what do you think of this one so far, just looking at the colors?
Great.
Great. All right, so we'll test those ones out. And then this one, the yellow one, is their metallic colors. So they're all metallic colors, and you'll see they each came with a little water brush, that we will be using for this video. So it's very small, compact, fits in there. Each one of these comes with 12 colors, but then there's also room, if you had other half pans, you could slide them in the middle and they would fit if you didn't want the brush to be in there, but also the brush is a great size. I think if you really wanted to, you might be able to squeeze an extra color on the edges, but you'd have to, we're just gonna keep the palettes as is for now. So we have the water brushes. The way they work is, I filled this one up already because that's the one we're gonna be using, but they're very small. They have a lid that pops up, a nice little rounded, it's pretty pointy and firm with it. And then you unscrew it, you kind of go counterclockwise, which is the opposite of how you'd expect. And then one thing that's different than these, than a lot of the water brushes that I have, is there's this little black cap. I think it helps with like not letting color go back into the water. But before you fill it up, you kind of have to get your fingernail underneath of it and pop the little black piece off, fill it up with water, and then you just are ready to put things back together and get started. Water brushes are great for traveling. I have quite a few, and I'm excited for these smaller ones. I think they will come in handy as well. So we'll see how they work today. So which color do we want to start with? Do you want to start with the shiny ones or the pastel ones?
Shiny.
The shiny ones. Are you going to help us by painting them? All right, so here are the metallics. So we can have 2 different golds, and then a white metallic, a black metallic, kind of a teal, a blue, a green, orange, a purple, a darker blue, a pink, and a red. So we'll see how those transfer. So what do we do first, Caspian?
Water.
Water. Yes, watercolors. So we have to add ourselves some water. So I kind of just get those there, and I just kind of go ahead and activate the watercolor. So you just put a little bit of water on, and that'll make it easier when we come in with our water brush to just kind of pick up more color, because it'll have been reactivated from the pan. So we'll try and sketch it onto here as is. So what is our, you want to start with our first color?
Yeah.
All right. What color is it?
Blue.
All right, now paint it on the paper. Just do it, try and do a circle right there.
Right there?
Yep, perfect. Perfect. It's starting out a little bit pale. See if we can get a bit more color off of there. It's had just a few seconds to activate. Get a bit more in there. So with metallics, they tend to be a bit more transparent than other colors. They're just kind of adding a bit of shine onto it. I'll wash that off. All right, you want to hold it up? So there is our first blue color. What do you think of it so far?
I like it.
You like it? All right, get our next green one. Swirl it around. No, just swirl it around. Our teal blue one, teal green. Swirl, and now give us another circle underneath. Excellent. Yeah, I definitely think spraying these ones beforehand will be necessary to get the sparkles. What do you think of that one?
That I don't know, but I still like it.
You still like it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's try the black. How's that one?
That is the best black or gray I've ever saw.
Wow, that's a pretty high praise. Yeah, that one comes out definitely a lot darker. So we can see we have the blue that we started with, and then the teal green, and then the black you can see is much darker than the other two, which is nice. I wouldn't consider it silver really. I mean, like it is shiny, but it would be like a metallic black. And then let's wash that out. And then we have this one, which is like a white pearly color. So I'm not sure how well it's going to show up on the white paper itself. Maybe I should have put down like a black pen or something. But we'll see.
It really just makes the paper shiny.
I think that's a good assessment. Yeah, because it's a white paper, you're not really seeing, you can kind of see the little circle here. It does add a lot of sparkle, so that would be good. Like if you've already painted something and you wanted to add a glitter layer over top, you think that would be good for it?
Yeah, make it a bit lighter.
Make it a bit lighter. All right, and then there's two different golds, so it'll be interesting to see if they're just double, like they expect you to use twice as much, or if they're actually going to be different colors. What do you think? You think they're gonna match, or are they gonna be slightly different?
Slightly different, because they definitely look slightly different.
Oh, they do?
That one looks like a bit more greener.
Oh, okay, so this one's like a cool yellow, you think? It leans on the green side.
Not green and slightly is green.
Yeah, so this first yellow it does look a bit on the cool side, on the green side. It has kind of a weird, like you can kind of see, let's see here, it has a weird grainy texture from the gold as I've gotten it wet, but that's all right. All right, and let's try this next gold.
That's just gonna be like a yellow starfish.
A yellow starfish. These are some great descriptions. That look like, yeah, it's slightly warmer. They are very similar. I would have maybe liked to have seen this one be just like more on
and it also looks a bit more cheesy.
A bit more cheesy, yeah. I would maybe like to see just a bit more variation between the two, but they are different. So I'll kind of tilt them up where you can see, I don't know if it's coming up on camera, but this one is just slightly more on the orange side. Ah, the blue ran away. That's all right.
I don't think you should do it that high or lower for.
That's good advice.
But at least,
I'll kind of dab it.
Yeah, just dab it.
Excellent. All right. So two different yellows of golds that you could use. All right, and our next, we'll go down the next row. So that would be kind of from our perspective, the left side of the palette all the way down. And now we'll see the right side of the palette. It starts out with another green, or the other one was a bit teal. How do they look? How do they compare, do you think?
Almost the exact same.
That's what I was thinking.
Just a little bit darker.
Yeah, I would say the teal comes off, dries a bit paler, at least so far, where this green is a bit. I'll kind of tilt the camera down a little bit. There we go. Let's see if it'll stay. Yeah, but we can see this green and that green are very similar. This one just is a bit darker. All right, and the next is orange. You gonna try that orange one?
Yeah.
Okay, just careful not to get your sleeve in the paint. There we go. All right. That orange came off very vibrant, didn't it?
And it also looks like a starfish.
Yeah. I would have maybe liked to see like more natural metallics, like more like a coppery color. Maybe the red will look coppery, but just some more neutrals, like how the black and the white, and even one of the golds, I think a more neutrally coppery tone or would be helpful. But all right, the next one is this purple. You gonna do the purple one?
Yeah.
Here, let's move it a little bit to the side for you to
Yeah.
reach the purple. That way we're not.
It looks more like a different color than a purple.
How would you describe it?
I would just say I feel like gray.
Gray. Like a
You
cool.
know, even though when you paint it, it looks more like a purple.
But in the tray, it looks kind of gray. But when you paint it, it does look purple. Okay, let's get some more color on there. Good work? Oh, it has a lot of color to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, you want to kind of hold it up for people? Just kind of tilt it up just a little bit. Careful so it doesn't run. So you can see the purple and the orange at the bottom there. Oh, and the green. Excellent. All right, tilt it back down.
That's a good place for it to be so it doesn't tilt down.
All right, grab the blue. All right.
It almost looks like sky blue, but it's just a bit more sparkly.
Yeah. So maybe you were doing like a sparkly sky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's grab this. Finish out our little circle. How do the blues compare?
The blues, darker, lighter.
Again, I think that's a very similar assessment. It's just
Darker,
like the green.
lighter.
Yeah. The green had a
Darker,
darker.
lighter.
Yeah. That's kind of it. All right. Now we have the pink. You have to grab the pink first.
I thought you already put it on.
Just leaving that job to you. What do you think of the pink?
I like it.
It looked like it was going to be a bit more bright in the pan, but
But now if you put water in it and you see, it'll probably get darker once it dries out, even though it looks lighter.
usually the watercolor does the opposite. When it dries, it gets lighter, but you never know. Maybe this one behaves differently. All right, and last but not least is our red. Gotta grab the red.
That's the second time that's happened.
What do you think of that red?
Well, I kind of like it.
Yeah. How would you describe it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'll describe it as light lava.
Light lava. Okay.
Very light lava.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool red in the sense of like it's airs more towards the purpley side
But
of red.
they don't have too much mixture, it kind of looks very light.
Yeah, so
Like
now
a
we can
pink.
see the comparison of what's in the pan versus how it painted on the paper. What's your favorite color, Caspian? Point to it. Which one's your favorite?
That one.
The blue, the darker
Yeah.
blue? And there doesn't appear to be much granulation or anything in it. It lays evenly and on the more even side. The black has a bit of granulation, but overall they play a fairly even color.
And also, the white is almost like it's the best white you can see.
Oh, that's true, because you can kind of see the white on the paper.
Very much.
Yeah, so that is the metallic set. So then the next set is, and then they do have a nice sparkle. It's like a little bit of it's just glittery, kind of glittery water. I don't know if the light is gonna pick it up or not, but they do have a nice glittery. It's not just I mean, obviously these ones are so wet, but it's not just the wetness. They do have a glitter in them. Next one that we're gonna do is the pastel set. And so the pastel, I would generally think pastels would be paler colors, but you'll see these ones are, they have some very vibrant looking colors. So we'll see how that turns out on the paper, if that's just how it's sitting in the box, or what do you think?
I think it'll be different when you paint it.
You think it'll be different when painted? So let's give it a go. Do you want to give it a spritz?
Yeah.
We'll get a nice one big overview from the top. Very good. You all right there?
Yeah.
There we go. All right, let's wash our brush out for sure. There might be a little sparkle. None of those seem sparkly, but just because I've not washed out our water, so some of the sparkle might be left on our brush. So let's do it this way. How do we want? So we start with the orange.
Yeah.
All right, give it a nice big swirl. We'll get lots of color from it. Let me see. Yeah, let's start up here. Wow, that is like a highlighter.
Yeah. And almost like that it's gonna light up.
It looks like it's gonna light up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the darkness.
It looks glow in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that would be neon.
Neon glow in the dark?
Yeah, let's see if you could. I don't know if the neonness, but it is glowing on this page. There we go. All right. Next one. How do you think the brush is? Is the brush nice? Yeah, grab your yellow.
Third time.
I think the brush is pretty nice, especially like it just came as part of the set, so I wasn't expecting much from it, but it does feel like
it's almost the exact same as that. It's almost like a highlighter again. It's like it's glowing. I think everything's gonna glow.
You think everything's gonna glow? We'll see.
Yeah.
I definitely If you ever feel like you wish you could paint with a highlighter, maybe if you were doing like an underwater scene, like a glow in the dark jellyfish. But yeah, you can kind of see how bright this yellow is.
But probably that would
glowing.
I think those would actually be the main colors. Almost they would be the only thing you could see in the dark. If it was a blackout, nothing you could see apart from that.
That would be pretty bright. All right, grab our blue from over there. Yeah, I think the brush is really nice for it just coming in. It's kind of just a really sturdy all around.
Whoa, that did
brush.
not even look like glowing.
This one does. So this one would be one that I would expect. This blue is something I would expect in a pastel. It would be still up on the more vibrant side of pastel, but I would expect this one to be I expect it to be like botanical or floral, and so I feel like that blue really fits that. All right, let's look at the next blue. Give it a good swirl. Oh, that is, what do you think?
Almost like it's glowing and almost like it's not.
I would say this one would be a proper pastel color. It has like this pale blue. I think it's perfect for skies. What do you think? You need some water?
Yeah, oh no, that's bad.
It's okay, I'll just add a bit more color. Yeah, so this would be what I would expect. This blue would be what I would expect almost all of the colors to be, that tone. And so far, it's really more the first one. All right, how's this green? I think we're back to glowing.
Yep.
I think so too. Yeah, so this one is definitely a neon green. Again, I don't know if the fluorescent color is coming off as much, but it does look like it could glow. An outer space alien. All right, and then last, this is another blue. We have, this one looks darker than the three previous blues.
That's way lighter.
It does look lighter. Let me see. Make sure we have enough pigment. Yeah, so it looked on the pan like it was gonna be darker, but it actually ends up coming off. Either it's difficult to re-wet, or
it's actually the lightest.
I feel like it's like, yeah, right in the middle, but in between them. So I think it just looks different in the pan than it does. But it doesn't, in the pan it comes off to be much kind of darker than these two that we've previously done. But here it really does look kind of very similar. It's the first one though that's granulating of this set, kind of separating. The others have laid down on the smoother side, but this one I can already tell it's kind of granulating on this textured paper. All right, time for our second column. Start out with purple colors. Start us up here. See, this one is, yeah, you got me some more. This one is another that I think actually belongs in the pastel color set. Here we go. Yeah, so this one fits more of the pastel colors rather than these vibrant colors over here. All right, what's our next one? Is another purple. All right, so we're on our second purple, and you said it might be, let's see, let's see how it turns out. What do you think? Is it lighter or darker?
Middle.
Yeah, it's like a medium purple, but I think it's darker than the other purple. Still, I would be okay with it being a pastel. It would fit in an Easter basket. I think that's how I define pastel colors. All right, next we have a pink. Can you get the pink? Does that one look like it's going to be very pastel? Or do you think it's going to be more the glowy dark colors?
Glowy.
Glowing in the dark colors. I think so too. Yeah, this is another fluorescent one. Grab a bit more so we can.
Yeah, when they're done, they look less glowing in the dark.
When they dry, they look a little less glowing in the dark. Yeah, I still think they give off fluorescent highlighter vibes. The very minimum, it's a hot pink, which I wouldn't expect in a set that was called pastel. But yeah, so a little bit of a surprise. It's a nice bright color if you use that one. What's the next one?
Some purple.
Another purple. So we're up to 3 purples.
That is definitely a dark purple. So that one, in fact, is a medium.
This one isn't as fluorescent as the others, but I think it is a fluorescent version of purple for this set. So that's interesting. It doesn't glow as bright as the yellow or the orange do, but it still has more reminiscent of that. All right, grab our next green. All right, let's grab some there. This works out because you can see the 2 greens. I like that green. What do you think?
That doesn't even look like pastel.
Yeah, I would say it definitely, but it works for...
It even looks, just when you paint it, it looks like it's already dried out.
Yeah, I think that has more to do with we didn't have enough water on our brush.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, there we go. Yeah, this one, I wouldn't say it's a pastel green, but it is a nice floral green. That'd be good if you're doing planting a garden or something. What do you think? Add the water to this next one. All right, let's try our very last one from this set. And this one has a nice little seafoam color. There we go.
Yeah, but it just needs to be a bit light to actually really look like it.
Yeah.
It looks like a bit whiter.
Alrighty, so we're having a bit of technical issues, but I think we've got everything on there. So the colors have partially dried, mostly dried. So we have our metallic colors over here and our what's labeled the pastel colors over here. So what is your favorite color from the pastel colors, Caspian? Which one?
I would say that.
That blue? Yeah. So you like these 2 blues, the sparkly blue and the regular blue? I would say mine, I really like this green a lot and this blue. I think these 2 together also look really good.
A yellow green.
Yeah, the yellow green. So I think this one, I would say if I were organizing it, I would maybe put all the fluorescent colors on one side and all of what would be maybe the floral pastel colors on the other side. I don't really use all that many fluorescent colors in my work, so it'll be interesting to see if maybe we can come up with some underwater scenes to paint or things like that. But now I have them, which is nice. I just think it maybe was a little misnamed, especially if somebody really was looking, like these were just kind of, I wanted to try out some colors, so it worked out great. But if you were specifically looking for a pastel color set, this probably wouldn't suit you. But if you just want to have some extra colors in a nice, cute little travel tin, that is really handy. And so, do you like the sparkly ones or the pastel set better?
I don't know. I like half of the pastel and half of the sparkle.
Oh, so you would just kind of blend them together into one palette, maybe?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
This half and that half.
This half and that half?
Almost like a pattern. These 2 would actually be together, and these 2 would be together. It's almost like a pattern.
It is almost like a pattern.
Like this. Da, 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 da.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us for our YouTube. Anything you want to say?
Please subscribe.
Please please subscribe. Excellent.
Bye-bye.